So there's so much work to do there, and that's almost encouraging too. I think that for anybody who aspires to tell stories, especially if it's pertinent to their own experience, it's exciting. The time is now.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi,
Thank you.
so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. For you that is being creating this series for children, for kids, why is important to have representation in those types of programming?
Particularly for preschool, I mean, I can speak generally from my own experience growing up. I would see content and I wouldn't see myself or my culture reflected in any of it. So, you see content like that, and then your aspirations start to mold into what you're seeing. And I don't know, it's such a weird experience when you're like, and then you move to the States, like moving over here and then having this homesickness. It was just that feeling of like, wow, imagine having content that does represent one culture and does so in a respectful and authentic fashion. You learn to appreciate what you grow up with. And I think it's very important for little kids to have that feeling, like see the world around and see the content on television and observe that there is a link out there. I think it would gain the sense of respect and appreciation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. I'm a mom myself, and I think it's important to us able to see ourselves on screen. Just a small screen, the big screen, and I think
Yeah.
it's very important for my kid, for example. It's all. And let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Santiago of the Seas. I know that is gonna come out later on in the year, but can you tell me what was your inspiration to create Santiago or
Sure.
the whole series?
Sure. Well, it was a multitude of elements that came together to create some form of alchemy, I suppose, for the final product. But um, particularly when it comes to pirate lore, uh, seeing pirate movies or pirate games, I would always see that the whatever character was, maybe of Spanish or Latino descent, they were yet generally like, oh, this is just like an extra character, or this character's the villain, or this character's the love interest. Like seeing a protagonist who's Latino and also in the pirate world seemed like it excited me. I liked the idea of that. Um, but that's just, that's one element. But what really compelled me was, it was going back home and those growing up in Puerto Rico and my experience going through old San Juan and having that surge of stories coming through, like wondering like, oh, what would it be like if this character lived in a fantastical world that is inspired by this kind of setting, and they go on adventures throughout the land, and in this land is fueled by magic of mythical creatures stemming from Latino Caribbean culture. So all these little pieces of influence fluctuated in to make Santiago so. Another thing that was very important for me, I guess the most important thing, was definitely celebrating that sense of family and community, and having, these set of values where you respect one another and you take care of one another and you're kind, was very important in the creation of the show.
Yeah, I think us Latinos, we are so much more than was showing before. And I think this representation right now is changing along the board. I think we are seeing in kids programming, you're seeing teens programming, in movies, Prime TV. We see a lot of like Latino families being represented and in a good way,
Hmm.
right? And
Exactly.
yeah, how much I don't know if you see what I see, like the change on Hollywood, on the industry. What do you think that changed in this? Your opinion on that?
Oh, I think it's exciting, but I feel like we've got so many more stories to tell. This is just like a teeny bit of it of something that's been coming for a long time, especially when it delves into whether it's Latino American or Latino Caribbean. It's such a wide range, such a beautiful spectrum of different perspectives, all stemming from that Latino experience. Um, there's so many stories to tell. I wanna watch a show that has a Panamanian protagonist, or maybe one that is from Honduras or Nicaragua, or
From
it's
Brazil.
limitless. Yeah, from Brazil. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yes. So there's so much work to do. And that's almost encouraging too. I think that for anybody who aspires to tell stories, especially if it's pertinent to their own experience, it's exciting. The time is now.
Yes,
Let's
yeah.
bring that representation, and let's bring that authenticity to the content that is out there. I think it's much richer when it comes from our own voices, and you know, not somebody who's not from the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, of course. And for like Santiago, hear me specifically. Did you got inspiration from your a family member, a friend, a cousin, a brother? I don't know. Did you grab a little bit of everybody, or you have someone in mind that you got inspired by?
For Santiago, oh gosh, it's so funny because um, my best friends were my cousins, and out of like 12 cousins, I was the only girl. So every time that we would go out and play, I remember, I think I freaked out my Cuban grandmother, because she would be like, oh, why don't you dress like all pretty? And I was like, no, I have the spirit of a boy trapped in the body of a girl. So the origin of Santiago really stems from that, like, you know, that who would I be if I were like a little boy who loves adventure and wants to do the right thing, I guess. Um, and then, other characters, uh, villains, or even Santiago's best friend, who's his cousin. Um, there's a lot of attributes that certainly stem from certain family members, whether it's my cousins or maybe something that, like a fear, or something that my mom loves, I will put it in there. So I feel like it's a cool little Easter egg hunt for when the show comes out. They'll see us like, I know who you're referencing. So
That's good. That's awesome. And this is a dream come true for you to have your own series, your own animated
yeah.
series. And that it's like a dream. How do you keep up optimist in when you see that how the whole situation is, like you see the situation around you like falling down, like not going
Yeah.
positively? How do you keep optimistic?
Gosh, if I'm being honest, I think that stems a lot from my optimism really comes from my experience as a Puerto Rican woman. Um, we're a territory of the United States, and let's be honest, it has been, we have gone through a lot of hardships, but time and time again, the people rise up. they come together and they go through challenges and then come out stronger with a sense of unity. So that's resilience that I acquired from home. That's what pushes me to keep going.
Yeah, that's good. It's in your blood.
It's
But
always home. It's always home. Home is my love.
yes, yes, I know. But Niki, thank you so much for your time, and
Thank
it was a
you.
pleasure to talk to you. And I hope everybody can see Santiago of the Sea pretty soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time so very much.
Of course. Bye bye.